What are you buying, stranger? Clearly not tickets to these movies. Capcom takes another shot at this beloved franchise in movie form, but will it take away the pain from the last disaster? On this week's Odd Movie Comparisons, we take a look at 2002's Resident Evil versus 2021's Welcome to Raccoon City. Roll the clips! Almost 20 years later, but what did they learn? Let's start off with some similarities. Shitty CGI, check. A callback to plenty of your favorite game moments, check. Taking advantage of your love for the game to get you to blow your cash on a shitty movie, double check. But fans will never learn, will they? And you know we'll be back to have our hearts broken again. But for now, let's start off with 2002's Resident Evil. I remember when this came out and everybody was so excited. A mysterious woman wakes up in the hive who has entrapped everyone inside to contain a deadly virus. We're not going to add the rest of the saga here and how they butchered all your favorite characters, but as a standalone, this actually wasn't that bad. I mean, it wasn't great, but the traps were pretty cool and it actually had some very memorable scenes. In fact, the lasers even influenced Resident Evil 4. However, all of which was wasted on terrible acting and terrible CGI, with a flat storyline that fans were willing to forgive just this time around. And again. And then again. And by the fourth time, I think we finally learned our lesson.
They have only 3 hours left before it begins infecting and mutating the whole human race.
Everyone stay calm.
Every story has a beginning.
Now on to Welcome to Raccoon City. They're right, it was true to the game, but in trying to squeeze 3 Resident Evils into one movie, it was definitely a tough task. Claire Redfield returns to confront the dark history of the Umbrella Corporation, and with the help of her brother and some new friends, escape the city from a zombie invasion. It was so true to the game that I was literally watching all your favorite scenes in live action form. Like literally copy and pasted and even reenacted.
Chris Redfield. Jill Valentine.
You never realize how stupidly boring it actually makes a movie, even as a fan. Like, where's my controller? I really want to play this scene, but I can't. But unlike the Anderson one, this one was more grounded in reality. And even though I was one of those casting complainers, I ended up surprisingly liking everybody. The cool part is that they even filled in some plot holes from the game, as well as added some scenes you might have wanted to see in the video game.
What were Umbrella doing here?
This is where they're experimenting on him.
Now when fans say they want a faithful recreation, you still have to hire people to write a decent script. And that's the dilemma with fans. They're going to rip apart every detail of their favorite franchise. 2002's Resident Evil at least had a story arc. One filled with mystery, deceit, and well, evil. Like literally, you'd have had a better time watching people play the video game than watching Welcome to Raccoon City. Just because you get to understand the whole lore instead of a Robot Chicken bite-sized reenactment of your favorite scenes that only reminded you of how good the game was. And you might have guessed, Welcome to Raccoon City did set up a sequel, which I am going to see just out of curiosity. Like, how will they do the Spanish Village from Resident Evil 4? Since Welcome to Raccoon City already took care of Resident Evil 1 through 3, with a little bit of Code Veronica in there as well. One thing Welcome to Raccoon City did really well was that they nailed down the atmosphere, right down to the T. Might I even say it looked more like a Midwestern town than the actual game did? But that doesn't excuse the lack of tension, the neutered bosses, and of course, the quickest and most anticlimactic ending possible. Like when the movie ended, you realized just how much of a shell of a Resident Evil fan service this was, and gave me a case of Umbrella Blue Balls. And to be honest, I never thought I'd say this, but Paul W.S. Anderson actually wins an odd movie comparison.
shot her 5 times. How is she still standing?
Bitch isn't standing now.